Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. This is an interesting situation here. We lost our support at 118, mainly because Bitcoin has been on the dump train here recently. We saw about 500 million in liquidation in just under 15 minutes. That was roughly about 8 hours ago. So sometime through the evening when I was sleeping, I was fully asleep in slumber, Bitcoin decided to have a bad day. And if you take a look here, you can see this is the liquidation levels for Bitcoin at that 42,100 mark. Okay, it's trying to come back down to retest that level. That's why we're seeing Solana pull back. So again, that was not fantastic, but that is something that happens nonetheless. So what we're going to take a look at is, of course, Solana, and quickly understand liquidation levels, and then jump into a few key factors here. Quickly to note, I want to congratulate our community members, though, of course, because this is fantastic. Healthy profits. The graph, 3 days, 52%, BNB 92% in a couple months. That's an older trade. Same with this Dusk trade, 150% in 4 months. But look at this here, SKL, 111% in 2.5 trading days. And then same thing with Gala, 64% in 4 days. We also took some VeChain profit as well, comp, KNC, but it was just nice little icing on the cake to be like, totally take the day off, minus my Solana video, and effectively just be cashing in on some nice profit over the last 3 to 4 days. So patience pays off, folks. I'm super happy for you. Thanks again for the awesome feedback. Let's talk about liquidation levels on Solana. Okay, so let's see what's going on here, and we'll jump right back in to some other stuff here. So we can see a lot of concentrations here at about 105 to 107, 108. Those are in jeopardy right now. So keep that in mind. We don't have a ton of new liquidation levels for shorts, which is actually kind of refreshing to see. People are kind of done getting wrecked with their shorts, but the longs are in jeopardy now. So the simple way to understand this here is that with a lot of liquidation below the price action and very little above, whales have a tendency of pushing the price in that direction. Okay, so keep in mind these guys here could be subject to to some serious problems, right? So 106, 104, upwards of about 110. Now again, is it a guarantee that it's going to happen? No, but it's looking likely just based on the way that Bitcoin is misbehaving right now. We lost our trend lines, we lost a lot of stuff there, and it does look like it wants to pull back further. Okay, so we have every consideration to be in a short position, not a long position for Bitcoin, and you could roughly summarize the same thing for Solana. However, you got to recognize this coin is fairly strong. Is it going to pull back very hard? Well, we got to recognize also it's one of the largest coins, and the coin that has probably the most amount of profit to be taken for a lot of people that are have this coin. So you got to recognize those are all factors swinging in the downward direction, not the upward direction. So let's talk about the daily and kind of work our way down. So far we have a bearish engulfing candle. It's not a great sign. So closing below 112.58. So we can just say round number. Closing below 113 would be disadvantageous. That would confirm bearish continuation potential. We are above all moving averages on the daily. We are starting to see a RSI swing down here as well as stochastic. It's finally pulling back, which is kind of refreshing in a way. I mean, most coins that go up this far have to pull back eventually, right? So the truth is it's due for a correction, but we don't know how big of a correction it's going to be just yet. We just know that we're overextended. We're kind of upwards here, at the point where it should be turning around soon. Okay, so again, just be, talk some normalcy, some sense into it. It would make sense for the price to pull back at this point. Am I saying it's going to or should? That remains to be seen, honestly, because we've got a lot of things we want to look at first. So let's quickly evaluate that here. So RSI, stochastic, money flow index, everything's shooting down very hard. Now again, this is our second swing down for stochastic. So this, once again, carries more weight. We're going to see it continue probably a little further than the previous pullback. We really want to make sure we do not close lower than the most recent low. We'll look at that in the charts here in a second, but with money flow index being in the low 50s, or under 50 rather, and of course RSI being in the low 50s, we have potential for bounce here, but it's not a guarantee. Okay, so again, RSI, when it pulls back like this, we want to kind of see and evaluate. We'll have to take a look later today and kind of see. Right now, I would just recommend don't touch this coin. That's just kind of the best way to go. Don't try to catch a falling knife, and don't try to stop a shooting bullet in the sky, right? Whatever analogy you want to use to describe the price moving fast in either direction, it's not always the greatest to just jump right in. That's me personally. I'm more of a swing trader, not like really a day trading scalping kind of guy. Granted, we have a scalping bot that I created specifically for that reason in our Plus group. And again, I know that's working well for most people, but at this point, I don't like touching it. Okay, so again, to clarify, everything's looking very bearish here. We've diverged officially, and now at this point, last 12 hours, we've been pretty pretty bearish, right? Now, does that mean it's going to just drop super hard? Not exactly, but here's the thing that we got to recognize. And let's pull the fibs out just a little bit further. And we can kind of see here for this most recent trend, we've lost pretty much all of these potential support levels, at least so far. Granted, this candlestick hasn't closed yet. We still got about, oh wait, we got 40 seconds left on this candlestick. So it pretty much well. But the bottom line here is that right there at about 111.58, that's where the current fib level is, sorry, 111.66. We can kind of see that we have, well, we should have support there. In other words, we don't know for sure, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles here so far have closed above that level. This would be the first one to officially do so. It does look like it's gonna actually do that. So the long story short here is closing below that fib level is not great. That kind of reiterates and reaffirms the fact that the price could continue lower. We may even see somewhere in the range of 108 here tested today. Again, a little early to tell, but what we can confirm here on the hourly, and this is usually what we saw on Bitcoin as well. Actually, no, correction. We don't truly have this yet, but we're almost there. Okay, let me explain. So if you're not familiar with the cloud, this basically tells us that lagging span being free and clear of the price action, it's a good consideration for a short position. You should not have a long position open. Conversion line below the baseline, we've lost significant momentum, or we're gaining momentum to the downside. More reason to consider a short position. The upper and lower lead on the cloud, we lost the upper lead, and we're soon to lose the lower lead if we just go sideways for another 12 hours. So hypothetically, in 12 hours, if we close, once again, in my personal opinion, below that specific level, in other words, I think I said it was 113 on the daily, because we had the daily candlestick close at 112.50. Yeah, so if we close at 113 or lower, there's a strong chance we're going to see the price action continue down. Okay, again, we've lost this ascending trend line. I forgot to look at the trend lines on the 4-hour. We are now officially below the 20-day SMA. So these are all disadvantageous signs. Okay, now again, knowing trading and the way that it works, it's really common for the price just to shoot right back up now that everyone's confirmed bearish, right? It's so common. So do not, by any stretch, go hard and heavy with some shorts. Doesn't mean that the price is going to drop significantly. It just implies that we've lost this bullish momentum here. The short to mid-term timeframes have lost this continuation pattern that we're seeing, and it's pushing down lower. We're also losing some key levels on the daily, but we're not quite there yet. The daily hasn't closed, so we should probably wait. Those are just things that I look at. But at this point here, I think 108 seems like a likely target here to retest these most recent lows, these lower liquidity levels, and to effectively be able to, sweep all that extra a little bit. In fact, we could probably refresh this here because this little area was just swept once more. And we can go ahead and see that we're starting to see a lot more liquidation levels here at 110. Okay. The next big target is at 107.50 and 106.50. There's some really heavy stuff there. So just be careful if you have a long position open right now. I never recommend adding to your margin because you shouldn't be in a position where you have to do that. You should be able to be okay with your stop loss in place, regardless of that, because you have good risk tolerance. Those are all things I teach in my community, specifically my academy. But yeah, again, careful, folks. It's not looking great. Again, mainly the catalyst is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is having a bad day, and if that continues, which it seems pretty likely, then we're going to see Solana and a handful of other extremely overextended coins or coins that are profitable take a nosedive. I hope that made sense. Last thing too, of course, I get a lot of questions on this. Yes, Bitunix is a phenomenal exchange. Link down below. Consider registering with them. They get significant rewards. That's the reason why I want to go ahead and provide this to you here. If you use my link, you get these rewards. They are only available until the end of the year. Keep that in mind, so please make sure to check that out. If you have questions regarding this, it's all available in our promo section under Discord, or of course I got some walkthroughs for Bitget there too. But I do want to say thank you so much to my Solana community. You guys are awesome. You always provide great feedback, great comments, and deeply appreciate all the likes and follows and whatnot. Okay, thanks again for joining me here. You want to have a better trading day? Thanks again for joining. Just I would say pump the brakes. Try not to FOMO in at this point. We want to wait for it to find its bottom and then consider a long position. We're not quite there yet. Thanks again, folks. Have a good one. We'll see you next one. Take care.